Another guest, special guest in the building today. We got Victoria Sanders in the building. Make some noise.
What's good?
What's the? There we go.
You got that button unlocked.
Hell yeah, super talented photographer in here to chop it up with us, man. Glad to have you.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, first I gotta tell the people, like, I was last week. I really wanted to be at the interview, but I had to go to my little cousin wedding, yo. So I just want to congratulate Jasmine on her new husband, Carl. Man, get him one of those too.
Oh yeah, it's the orange one, huh?
Yeah. Hell yeah! How you doing today? How was your weekend? How's your week been going?
Busy week.
Yeah, I'm sure you get gearing up for Lollapalooza.
No Lollapalooza.
Yo, you not doing it all?
Nope.
Oh shit. That's what's up. Good. I'm glad you ain't going. That shit, I can't go to that motherfucker either, for real. Like we were just saying, if I don't have a golf cart, I ain't going.
No artist band. I'm not going to be there.
Yeah, you got to sit down and shit.
I want water.
Yeah, exactly.
I want shade. I want food.
Yeah, food and beer, especially free beer.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But you do typically shoot like music events and shit, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was really seeing on your Instagram.
Yeah, a lot of music, a little bit of sport, a couple things in between here and there.
Oh, perfect, man. That's all I'll be willing to talk about on the podcast.
That's perfect.
Music and sports. How did you get into it for real?
I first started taking photos 12, 13 with the film camera that I would borrow without my mom knowing when we go skateboarding.
Hell yeah, damn, 12, 13?
Yeah.
You've been in the game.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
You a key part. That's really what you be missing when you first starting off skating. Like you got to have a homie to take the photos.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they were good. It took a while.
No, but still, you just we want to see yourself.
Yeah.
We done had no camera, homie. Y'all have a camera, homie?
Yeah, for sure. We had a VX 1000 when we were like 12, 13, and then we got the 2000. And the thing is, like, skateboarding really introduces you to that kind of media, because I have so many friends now that were just filmers, photographers, but they legit now work in film and photography, but not in skateboarding. Because the really shitty thing is skateboarding is one of the best things in the world, but it won't really make you that financially secure, which is very unfortunate.
Same with music.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Music, you really got to get there for sure.
Yeah.
It's wild because I'll be listening to Turned Out a Punk and shit, and some of those artists that I considered that they made it, they did pretty well. They really just talk about how they have side jobs and shit. Yeah. And I'm like, man, that's really crazy if you're in a touring band playing like 500 to 700 cap rooms and you still need a second job. It's kind of unfortunate.
I mean, everybody got everybody got a job for real. They don't nobody just sit there and play music and tour and shit. Like, people be like having companies and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jobs in the sense that you got to take care of your responsibilities and like got responsibilities to do some shit.
True, but
You know
at
what
that
I'm
level,
saying?
like, you know, these bands should be getting compensated, wouldn't you think? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You
Like-
shouldn't come home from tour and then be applying at like Target.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we gonna hope they jobs ain't at Target. That's bogus.
It happens.
Yeah, it do for real. It really fucking do for real. Like, I'll be like going back and like looking at like people that used to be in bands and shit. Like when I was a kid, and I'll find their Instagram. I'm like, wait, is this that dude from that band? I'm like, he looked just like me.
I mean, the shit's even more bogus for bands because they got to chop it 4 or 5 ways. When you're like a rapper, it's you and your DJ. And you're like, cool, we chop it 2. When you got 5-piece, 6-piece bands, they're still paying you the same. Like if you play this venue, they're like, all right, we'll pay you this. You just got to chop it 6 ways.
And then your booking agent, and then your manager, and then your rental to get from venue to venue, and then your hotels.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm managing that shit. Pay me twice. I'll figure all this out. Do you think skateboarding made you want to start taking photos?
Yeah, entirely.
Nice.
Were there any people in skateboarding you like kind of were inspired by photography wise?
Oh, Bryce Knights.
Yeah, Bryce the Beast.
Bryce was kind of like my number one favorite. And I used to always like search out his photos in the magazines, and meeting him after so many years, it was just like, dude. And he was like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I feel like it was really him, Blayback, Atiba.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild. I feel like Atiba got all like the really good opportunities just because he really fucking knows everyone.
Yeah.
Like Atiba's tapped in, so he got to shoot all like the best shit.
Yeah, like Slam Magazine and all that shit. Like, that shit is crazy.
He was the most social person I think I've ever met.
Really?
Yeah, but that just goes to show. Also, if he would have just shot skateboarding, he wouldn't be as well off as he is.
No.
him getting that NBA shit really set him up to where he could be a career photographer, which is dope because you got to step outside of skateboarding. Is that probably why you ended up shooting music and all these other things?
It just kind of felt like a natural progression because what else are you going to do in winter in Chicago or New York? You're going to do nothing, or you're going to go to a show and maybe bring your camera or go shoot your friend's band.
Yeah.
Or,
So you're definitely not fucking skateboarding.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Collecting dust.
That's when I first started like following photographers and shit. Like when I first started going to hella shows and shit, and I'd be like, damn, I'm trying to find one of me. Found a photo of me, so I was following everybody and shit. This back in the MySpace days for real. It wasn't even follow back then. But I was like trying to get into it with all the photographers and shit. It was funny is because like a lot of them photos and old videos like still live to this day. That's why photography go hard for real. Because like that shit's still up. You know what I'm saying?
It's always gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the motion. It's like such a similar thing. It's tracking the person and anticipating what they're gonna do next without knowing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about. How do you do that?
I think it comes from like skateboarding.
Yeah, I guess so.
Kind of watching, you know where someone's going to start, and you kind of assume where they're going to end.
Yeah.
So it's just figuring out where they're going to be in the middle and when that moment is.
You just got to find that like sweet spot, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, trial and error. How many rolls of film did I take to Walgreens and be like, Mom, can I borrow $5?
Yeah.
And then I was like, nothing came out. Or like one kind of came out.
Oh, okay.
But it was all worth it.
Yeah, but you just, learning experience. That's sick, yeah.
Yeah, that's why a lot of times with skateboarding, like the photo that gets published isn't even the make because you really just need to get the best photo.
Yeah.
And some of that shit that was on covers never even got landed, which is crazy. They're like, y'all come back and get it. It's like, all right, bet. I would feel so weird, just like, fuck.
There definitely heard stories. Most people do not want something that was never a make to get published.
Yeah, they don't even realize it and it comes out and they're like, oh my God.
Like,
that's got to be terrible.
Yeah.
And then people are like, how many tries does that take? You're like, well.
I'll let you know.
Still working on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let you know in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's the same shit that happened with, there was no photo, but Sheckler with the backside flip on El Toro. And he had to like live with that lie for so long. And when he went back to try it, he really tried it because you knew he was like, fuck, I need to do this.
Yeah.
I have to do this.
Did he land it ever?
Nah, he tried though. Like the raw clips are crazy. He committed like 3 times and just folded his ankles like every time.
Oh, really?
He's like, it's just too big to roll. Like if you really think about it, no one's flipped their board and landed switch. They've done like backside 180, but no one's like done a flip trick and rolled away a switch on El Toro because it's huge, bro. That impact is nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know how niggas' legs just don't be crumbling to dust. I feel like it's crazy when you watch a nigga skateboard. And I feel like you can't jump that and like not break your leg. Like you know what I'm saying? Like if I was on foot, you would be fucked up.
Every time I watch a clip of Jaws, I almost start to
I'll be
turn
cringe.
away. Can't watch it anymore. I don't want to know what happens.
I was like, how do you like? You can't fall off that and not die. So how you kick flipping it, man? I don't understand.
Yeah, well, that's why everyone's whole theory is like, I hope I land on the board. 'Cause the board will absorb the impact. If you just jump down it, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, it's a rat, dude. That's
You're getting heel bruised. And the crazy thing is, if you never skateboarded, you probably never bruised your heel. That is the worst fucking feeling in the world. Like, you can't walk around all normal and shit. People think you're weird because you're not visibly hurt, but you're walking around fucking crazy.
Because your whole foot is the color of the grave.
Yeah, for sure.
exactly.
Yeah, that's a gnarly dude. The first dude that ever was like, I think I'm gonna try to ollie off some shit that I can't jump off of. Probably like did the math and the physics in his head. Well, if I land on the board, the nigga had to figure out. Yeah,
I used to live right by that shit. It was huge.
I just see a motherfucker like running the numbers through his head, like, will my leg shatter if I miss the board? That's a gnarly ass dude.
How many years till I have no cartilage left?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What's crazy is I used to think those people, I used to say, well, you've never seen any like the big jumpers grow old. But now watching Reynolds, it's kind of like, well, Reynolds is still fucking killing it. And he's like 43, 44-ish. And he used to jump down the biggest shit. So I don't know. Maybe if you take care of yourself, it won't be that bad. But
Built different.
Where are you from?
From here.
True.
Yeah.
What side?
City. Straight west.
Sick.
Right off Cicero Avenue.
Oh, sick. Hell yeah, yo. You right. You kind of right back. I'm from Austin and shit. Yeah, that's crazy. So, like, I remember, like, we ain't had no real places to skate. Like, where was y'all skating at?
We went downtown.
Yeah, I said that's the only place to go for real. Like when I was growing up, like they got skate parks now, but like they ain't had no skate parks for real.
We went straight downtown.
Or like we used to go to like Elmhurst.
Where downtown? all the obvious spots.
It was always Federal Building, Picasso, or like
Yeah.
First National.
Okay,
Bank.
yeah.
That was it.
Okay.
Or it used to be like where like the passport office, federal, like FBI, Dearborn right there.
Okay.
That used to be the spot until they
Word.
closed it off.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah, I moved here probably 10, 11 years ago. But isn't Burnham pretty old? Wasn't it the first one?
That was about 2001.
2001. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So that's old, but not still. Yeah, where I grew up too, we never had a skate park. I grew up in the like middle of Michigan, and that's why it's till this day I'm fucking horrible at transition because I never skated it. We just skated box and rail, and I'm like, dude, I don't know about this like these fucking recorder pipes and shit. You know? It's like,
The first time I ever saw in real life, I think it was like 8, and I thought that thing was 30, 40 feet tall. It was probably 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
But that was 40 feet tall, and how the hell was anybody doing that?
Yeah, exactly.
I was just like, oh, I want to do this
Yeah,
forever,
exactly.
and my mom's going to hate me my whole life. It's cool.
Earlier this week, I sent Kurt a video of a 9-year-old hitting a 900. And I was like, damn, like, I wouldn't even drop in on that bitch. Like, he been doing it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that crazy? Like a 9-year-old hitting that shit. I remember when Tony Hawk was the only nigga in the world to do that
I got
shit.
3rd graders just going out.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, listen, after school today.
He did it clean, too. Did he do it clean?
I think it's really just the progression of shit. Because if you think about it, and I could be wrong, so it's off the top of my head. I think when Naja feebled the Hollywood 16, he was 9, and that was so long ago. Yeah. So the thing is, it's like anything. When you're younger, you kind of look up to people so hard and retain what they're doing, and you're like, okay, they can do that. So you just know it's possible. So it's easier for you to up the ante on shit. You know what I mean? So if you were 7, 8 watching like these dudes frontside flip 16 stairs, you're like, okay, that's possible. And then you get it good enough at it so quickly that you can take it to the next level. You know, so it's just fucking crazy now how little these kids are and killing it. But yeah, Naja was like a 9-year-old when he was skating 16 stair rails. He had the Rasta shit.
He should have never cut the hair, man. That's what I got off Naja.
I think he's doing fine for himself.
He's doing all right.
Yo, so I wanted to ask you about something we haven't really talked about was the photo ladies.
Yes.
And I thought it was interesting, like when I was like looking at the Instagram and shit, that it says something about community over competition.
Yeah.
Why is that important? And like, what is there like a lot of competition in this world?
I mean, gatekeeping is bullshit.
Yeah.
There's enough for everybody.
Okay.
What happens if you never told your friends to go skateboarding with you?
Okay.
Like, what are you going to do?
Exactly.
You're going to be the only person doing it?
Yeah.
There's a space for everybody. So the whole community over competition is, photo ladies started as kind of a joke.
Yeah.
We were making fun of like white dudes in the photo pit. We were. They all stand the same way.
Yeah.
They're all like 55 years old.
Oh, those guys.
They're you know,
The aggression.
It was just kind of like a joke. We were like, haha, what happens if we all banded together? And then it turned into something that people wanted. So like we started as like a little Facebook group with like 12, 13 friends, mostly New York-based photographers.
Yeah.
And then we just kept expanding and people got invited in. And then our community group had over 1,000 people. And now we've just moved to Discord because fuck Facebook.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, how do we pass along an opportunity that's not for us? That's not where we're located. That's something we can't do. That's not our skill set. So now it's, hey, so-and-so reached out. They need a photographer in X city for X date. Who's available?
Oh, wow. That's sick, actually.
And
that's such an ill community,
yeah,
for real.
and then people who are just getting started, they're like, I don't know what's the best to buy. Like, I want to do this. How do I learn? Like, I need a publicist contact. I want to shoot photos of this band at this place. And a lot of it is also teaching etiquette.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you don't do
Okay.
versus this is what you have to do. Like,
Word.
learn what you're not supposed to do, like how to be cool and chill with the other photographers, how to make friends and not enemies, how to network well. It brings so many people who are super introverted, a lot of people who are insecure, a lot of people who are just dealing with stuff. It brings them a confidence they didn't have before.
What is like some of the specific advice you give people, if you don't mind? Like
A lot of it really is to not to stress on an opportunity that doesn't work out for you.
Okay.
It's a really hard lesson to learn because you're like, I want that opportunity. I want that job. I want to shoot this artist or this person or this event. But sometimes it's not for you.
Yeah.
It just isn't meant for you. Whatever the universe, whatever you believe in, it's supposed to pass by you.
Yeah, because I can imagine, like, for a beginner, if they're, like, really wanting to shoot a certain artist and they get the opportunity and it's just not it, how crushing that can be. So that's good that they have y'all there to kind of, like, pick them up when they're down, you know?
They go in and you're expecting, like, your first show to be, like, look like, you know, this perfect arena show when you're shooting in a bowling alley or, like, a basement and there's no lights. It's like somebody's, you know, lamp. And you have to kind of, like, hey, here's the expectations, or here's how your camera settings should be, like, if you want to give it a try. Because shooting in an arena, that's easy. It's really, really, really easy.
Is it really?
The lights are perfect. They're meant for photos. Your cell phone can take a photo almost as good as a camera at that point, you know? But when you're shooting in these tiny venues, like, you know, like, say, Shuba's or something. Okay. 200 people. Lights aren't the best. You might have to be standing halfway back through the room. What are you going to do? Yeah. If you can shoot in that room, you can shoot anywhere.
Do you ever shoot from the crowd?
I do sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes it's fun. Yeah. And sometimes I do it to kind of get back to where I started. Okay. Instead of, like, having this access to everything, like, it's nice to go back and just kind of see the crowd reaction and get the hands and get, you know, just kind of be part of it again instead of just being like, I am a separate entity.
Yeah, that's dope that you kind of like acting as a lot of people like OGs. Like a lot of shit you was saying, that's some shit that's like your OG would tell you. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, in the art space, a lot of people ain't got no OGs. You just winging it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I did.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody,
because nobody wants to help. You know what I mean?
Nobody wants to.
Nobody wants to show love.
Exactly.
No, and it's brought me. I've networked and met people in so many cities and so many countries that will pass my name along, or I can pass their name along. Yeah. Or like, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. You know, they meet somebody in Scotland, and we're like, oh, we have like 7 people there. Like, here's their info. You know, we have artist teams reach out, and they want people for tours. So we gather the names, send them over.
That's so sick, too, because that, like, you being, quote, unquote, people's OG, like, that makes you look so good. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it keeps me from having to leave the house half the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, who wants to shoot a show? Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, that's an amazing thing, though, too, to do for others, because learning by mistake has its own thing to it. When you learn in the moment, it really hits you harder where you're like, fuck, I'm not going to do that again. But time is so valuable in all this shit, and things go so quickly. Any time you can save others is amazing. If you're like, hey, you don't have to learn these 7 things on your own. We got you. Don't do this, and this. Because everything you learn on your own, even though it's valuable, that's time you spent that was not the best opportunity. We're like, all right, let me get the takeaways from this. Cool, it could have been better. But if you already know those things, maybe some of those missed or poor opportunities turn into better opportunities.
Well, in most shows, you get the first 3 songs to shoot photos, and that's it.
Oh, yeah. For real?
Yeah.
I've seen all those pit rules, because when, like, the homie used to always list me at Metro, sometimes I would get, like, a photo pass, even though I was just like, whatever, because he's like, I don't have any, like, these spots here. And it's like, you get this time and this time and this time, and you got to just go do your thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Most is first 3 songs, no flash from the pit. Doesn't matter how bad the lighting is. You get in, you get out, and that's what you're going to get. Damn. So you want to make sure that you get the best you can in that 9 to 15 minute space.
Okay.
So it's like if you're coming equipped with at least some knowledge of what you should do and what you shouldn't do, hopefully it helps you have a better experience.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like you got to make the most of your time. You know, you can't be sitting there fucking around. And then they're like, oh, you got to go. And you're like, I ain't got shit.
Hold on. I'm still trying to figure out my settings.
Hope they don't want these photos.
Breaking a sweat in the photo pit.
That's the whole thing. Hope they don't want these photos.
These are straight trash.
Yeah.
That's funny. Are there any venues, since we're in Chicago, it doesn't have to be specific, but here or anywhere you've shot that you'd really just enjoyed, that had a different aesthetic? Like there's a bunch of old church venues in Detroit, and I always thought those looked so good in photos, just because you get the stained glass in the back and like.
I was just on tour this spring, and we played 6th and I in D.C., and it's a synagogue, like a working synagogue.
Damn.
So, but they put on shows, so it was like, you know, this massive ceiling, stained glass, everything, and it was horrible to shoot in, but it was beautiful when I fixed it.
Yeah. What do you use? You just use Photoshop?
I use Lightroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's that?
Lightroom is kind of like a bulk Photoshop editor.
Okay.
Where so, you know, you dump all your photos in and you're able to, you know, change your metadata. You're able to, you know, select the photos you're going to edit. That way you don't have to go through one by one.
Oh, okay.
Because Photoshop, you know, you upload a photo, you save it, you close it, and you move on.
Yeah.
But this is, all your photos are right there.
Yeah.
And then you can just kind of pick and choose.
Damn.
And then you can bulk export, you can rename, you can, you know.
Effective.
It is. It's kind of like Photoshop on steroids,
Yeah.
and you have 4 hours to edit.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, does the camera just associate the metadata with the photos? So you can sort by date and shit?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I can sort by
Location,
lens
probably.
type. I
Yeah.
can sort by, you know, settings, anything.
That's right. It knows what lens you put on?
Yeah.
That's amazing, actually.
Yeah.
That saves you so much time. And that's probably why you can bulk import and export.
Yeah.
Because you can choose by the attributes, like the metadata.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's sick. I didn't know that about that.
Yeah, and a lot of the newer cameras too, you can just flag so that as soon as you import, those are already like rated higher, so you know what you're gonna pick.
So with all these conveniences, do you ever find yourself just wanting to shoot analog, like film?
I do. I did a lot on tour. I just tried to take. I was like, I just want to do film this whole time.
Like it's a roll of the dice when you're shooting film.
It is. But I did mostly like, you know, portraits and just like us traveling and us in the van and those times, and that felt better to do with film.
What are your genuine feelings on post photos, portrait photos? Do you like taking them?
I prefer candids.
Me too. I have like kind of beef with post photos. Basically I like homies and shit. I don't really like it when it's like, all right, pause and just like be. It's like
Yeah.
they turn out as most of the time just weird and forced, like very forced.
Yeah.
If you're doing like a portrait photo shoot for someone and you have it planned and there's a certain like theme around it, that can look beautiful and amazing. But if you're just chilling, like, hey, photo, and everyone's like,
Yeah. I was kind of going to go with that. Like, if it's just friends or like a casual, non-planned, like we're going to have a session right now. Like, no one's getting warning. No one's getting posed. No one's going to get that chance to like, let's change the lights. It's just fun. But if it's like, you know, a portrait session for promo photos, press photos, a cover of something, everything's going to be set up. So that 2-hour time slot is super efficient, super done. Lighting's perfect. Whatever needs to be done is done.
yeah. In those situations, what do you say? It's an individual and not like a group band. Is there certain things you would look for to kind of shoot that person in their best light? Not the actual lighting in the room, but the way they would look the best.
Usually, I try not to go in blindly ever. I try to kind of figure out who it is. Most of the time, it's somebody I may have run into already, or like I know someone from their management or their publicist, or I've seen them live. So I kind of go with that. I will always talk to them and ask them what they're comfortable with first, and I try to keep them as much in the process as I am, so that they can they know what they look best. You know, if I've just met them or I've only met them once, I don't know what their best side is. I don't know if they hate their left ear over their right ear or something, you know, or like some random.
Imagine just knowing that off rip.
I'll be like, give my tattoos.
I bet you.
Give me your this
I bet you
song.
people that get photoed a lot do know, because like there's some wild percentage where like a very little percentage of humans have a symmetrical face.
Yeah.
So people, if you get photographed all the time, you probably figure out real quick
know
which side looks
Yep.
better. You're like,
Yeah.
I got to hit the left. That'd be crazy.
And a lot of times you have so little time when you're shooting portraits with an artist. So it's like, figure out where you're shooting first. Like, it might be in an alley behind a venue. Like,
Oh yeah, like right before the show.
yeah, like I'll kind of go look beforehand. If somebody have like a fence with like giant bushes with flowers on it, we're going there, and you're not going to know it's somebody's fence in an alley in Wicker Park or wherever.
Yeah, I think looking for the surroundings is key, because that really brings it out. And it brings us something new to, I mean, we've seen so many portrait photos, you know, so if you can find like an interesting backdrop,
Yeah.
it just brings the photo a little bit more alive.
Yeah.
And the artist is probably more hyped on that, because nothing against the person shooting. Honestly, artists that have been on tour for a while, they're probably fucking overtaking photos. Like, oh my God, I'd rather just chill for a little bit
Yeah.
right now.
And that's, you have so little time as it is. People think tour is like this. It's not this glamorous thing at all.
They got to stop
No,
editing
it's not.
those vlogs like that. They be editing the vlog like the shit's crazy. They need to
Yeah.
put in the boring shit, the tired
Like,
shit.
I just drove for 12
Yeah.
hours through North Dakota. Nobody showered or slept, and I'm hungry and I want something other than McDonald's fries.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah.
No, it is fun. It's definitely fun.
It's
But,
fun. It's like
I definitely be sitting there like, nigga, you musty, bro. You know, like, y'all give me this musty ass truck, bro.
What was the last tour you shot, and who was it?
This spring, I was out on tour with Dijon, and we did like April to the beginning of June.
Word.
Yeah, both coasts, middle of America.
Damn. Van?
We had a Sprinter.
Sick.
And a trailer.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
I mean, it gets rough in there after, a couple weeks, but.
But at least the AC is decent.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And, I mean, our dorm may have stopped working on the side.
Yeah.
It was special.
Yeah.
When was your first tour?
I honestly don't remember anymore because it used to be just like, let's hop in a friend's van and go do like 4 cities. We'll do, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, and Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the first ones were fun too because you were younger.
Oh, yeah.
When you're younger, your body's so like rejuvenating. You can just bounce back from shit.
Yeah.
At this point, I'd have to have kombucha, keep my gut health right. Shit.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
I just drank a kombucha. I didn't do shit yesterday.
Yeah, I feel like our tour would be like that.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to get 8 hours of
Yeah.
sleep tonight. I don't
I'd
know about
say-
this tour.
90 LaCroix cans around me.
I mean, we got excited when we found good bottled water at a gas station.
Yeah.
We were just like, yes.
Get a,
Yeah, it was
have an
one
extra
thing.
couple bucks, get a young Fiji.
It's like, do they have alkaline
Revitalized.
water? Okay.
Yeah.
How'd you start working with Fever 333?
I had a merch homie who he was working with them at some point. I was like, oh, I got to take photos of them. Turns out they were in town a week later.
Yeah. They're a very photogenic band live,
They
like I would
really
imagine.
are. They really are. Got to the show, had a security guard manhandle me and pull me out of the pit.
Why? Why did he have to touch you, bro?
They'd given me all access pass.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, that's not a photo pass. I was like,
It's an all. No, all.
So they call it a some access pass.
so he grabbed my arm and kind of pulled me out of the pit as they were about to go on. So I ended up just going right to front of house and shooting. And it turned out to be the best thing ever. And then word got back to Jason what happened. He was like, give me like half an hour, come get you. And he was furious. He was like, I can't believe somebody did that, And he's been like a brother to me since then.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
fucking sick, yo. I seen them for the first time last year, and I'm looking at them like, I've seen these niggas before. And then I found out they was in Let Live, and I was like, oh,
And the Chariot.
yeah, the Chariot.
And the
I was like,
Chariot,
I'm
yeah.
looking at them, I'm like, I've seen this nigga before. Like,
Yeah, and Eric's other band is called Night Verses.
true.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Sick,
fucking
yeah.
sick. Who else have you been on tour? Name a couple.
Let's see. Recent in the last bunch of years, really like Surfer Blood a lot.
Sick.
Yeah.
They're sick.
Yeah, I chilled out for a while. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm never touring again.
Then you're like, I got
I'm
the
going
itch.
on tour again. I also toured with Anthony Ramos, who was in Hamilton and In the Heights, and She's Gotta Have It.
Sick.
Cool.
That was fun. That was a family feeling.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do love everyone I've toured with, but this last one was pretty special.
Good.
It's kind of funny how as humans, we're so quick to, once something hits like breaking point, we're just over it completely, knowing full well you're not.
Yeah.
But you're like, fuck this shit forever. It's
Yeah.
like 4 months later, you're like, oh, I miss doing that
Oh, I'm
so
already
much.
there.
You got to
I'm
run
already
it
there.
back always.
Yeah.
I feel like I've done that with everything I really like in life, where I'm just like, fuck this, I'm done with this. Then you go back to it and realize why you liked it.
Yeah.
I think it's just that key, everything, and you can't take anything, you can't do anything too much. Once you do it too much, you can start to hate anything.
Oh, easy.
But things you love are usually momentarily. Like you'll come back to it and be like, all right, yeah,
Yeah,
fuck with this.
exactly.
Can't burn shit out, man.
That's like it's like when rappers be retiring and shit. I'm just like, bro, if that's your passion, like you gonna still be doing that shit. Period.
Yeah, I think retiring from music is weird because unless you're, drumming or something like that, you can do it at any age.
Yeah.
It's not a super aggressively physical thing.
Yeah.
Like I get,
But it-
like that, like if you retire from the NFL, like your body is like, fuck. Bro.
By
Yeah.
29.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like motherfuckers being like, I don't wanna put nothing out no more. They still making music. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I'm sure you're gonna shoot for photos forever for real.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless
Sometimes
if
I
you're
get
doing it
sick
for-
of music, so I mean, I'm glad I have other avenues that I go with sports and stuff.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's just you're burnt out, and I'm like, I don't want to go to another show. I don't want to deal with another security guard who doesn't understand what access we're allowed to have, or
exactly. Like
or some guy in the front row going, well, if I had a camera, I could do that. And I'm like, be
Oh
my guest.
yeah, for real? Is that a thing?
I'll be like, motherfucker, you know how much this camera costs? You don't have the bread though.
Any woman photographer.
You're at the front row at a show.
Pretty much ask any woman music photographer how many times she's been asked if she's dating someone in the band.
Wow.
Or been like, well, just give me your camera, I can do it too, from some guy in the front row.
No, I'm sure, yo. I'm sure. I don't put nothing past.
I never even thought about that. Yeah, true.
I don't put nothing past.
There's certain attributes that usually go to those guys.
Yeah.
They're very specific.
Okay, for sure. The picture is painted, for sure.
Definitely. Do you think a photo has to be technically a good photo to be a good photo? Like aspect-wise, everything's got, oh, this is a good photo?
Maybe. That's a yes, no. I think a photo needs to be flattering of the person you're taking it of, which changes the technical good photo into not a good photo. I've seen it so many times where people are like, but everything looks great, but the artist's face was like smushed and it's not flattering and they look like shit. And I don't do that. I don't think it's okay to do that. Your job is to make that person look good. Not just like, oh, look, the lights were pretty. Okay, great.
Yeah, I think that you can shoot other things for that. You know, you could shoot some nature shit, get that off, you know, instead of a person. The person sees the photo like, what the fuck?
Well, that's the thing. Some of
It's
these
like some
artists
shoegaze
will
album
see
art.
it. Yeah.
You're like, can we blur this out crazy?
You know, an artist is going to remember if you took a photo that they hate.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I would remember that shit for sure.
Yeah. Agreed.
I'm like, oh, yeah.
You see him again, like, what's up, player?
Can we get her some access?
Can we just pull that photo past 2 minutes before the show starts? Sorry, no photos. Oh, no, just you.
I'll put a big-ass blanket in front of the stage.
Turn
shit,
no
man.
lights, stage lights off.
Yeah, first.
First 3, no lights.
Yeah.
Oh, the photo pit time is done? Damn, that sucks. Light it up.
Yeah, light it up. It's lit.
That's funny as fuck. Well, Perry, you got a hot shit of the week for us?
Oh yeah, so yeah, getting to the break, man. This Alexis J new song that came out. I love this shit. It's called Face Card. It's produced by my boy to a new position. Let's get it.
You only saw like a
Yes, sir. That was Space Car by Alexis J in New Position, yo. It's my jam.
You're definitely in a certain kind of bag lately.
Yeah, I told you. It's all about dance music in the summer, man. I'm trying to feel good.
I still feel good with aggressive ass music.
I'm trying to feel good.
Death metal makes me feel good.
I mean, that did make me feel good, too.
I was at Trader Joe's on Wednesday, and the people at Trader Joe's are like probably the coolest staff ever. But I was checking out, and she's like, "Do you like My Bloody Valentine?" I was like,
Of course.
Yeah, I love this. Is really good.
Totally unprovoked.
Yeah, no, I was just chilling. Like, I was wearing a Sunday shirt, the Sundays, so I guess not totally unprovoked. But and then she's like, "Are you going to go see Pantera?" I was like, "Where are you going with this?" I was like, "You're taking us all over."
Are you inviting me to go see
exactly.
Pantera?
I was like, "I'm going to have to pass on Pantera." But you let me know how it goes.
So what kind of music you grew up on?
It's kind of all over the place. I had cousins who really just played like Metallica left and right, but I also was that kid who was like, I have to have the Run DMC album.
Yeah.
So it was pretty, my mom was into Motown. She loved soul. My dad, loved like 60s, drum, rocked. So it was kind of like all over the place. And so it was, a lot of 80s, 90s hip hop, a lot of punk, kind of all of it.
Yeah.
How much music did you learn about from skate videos?
I kind of feel like I was a little ahead of the videos with the music because I was already going to shows regularly 8th grade, freshman year.
How old are you in 8th grade? 13? 12?
I was 12.
12. The
Yeah.
first show I went to, I was 13. I saw Wu-Tang. The very
Yeah,
first show.
I mean, I was
Really?
I was going regularly, Fireside, Metro,
Nice.
basements,
Fireside is
anything.
always something
Yeah.
I wish I lived.
I heard Fireside had iconic shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like the
Fireside had
hardcore hub.
great
I got to go to
shows.
one show
Yeah.
at Fireside.
What show?
It was Thursday.
I mean, Thursday's great, but just from all the bands that came through there, like, fuck.
I know, right? Yeah. I
Like
see,
Every Time I Die's first tour, shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little ahead of my time.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, it dates back way farther than that, right?
Yeah, there were.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there were shows like right around 90 starting
God
there.
damn.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing like Earth Crisis.
I know
Yeah.
Luke be telling me everything.
Yeah, like Madball probably played there and shit or something, which is crazy.
Honestly.
Yeah, Luke be in my ear all the time. I was at the Fireside.
I mean, I definitely shouldn't have been there when like 12 and 13, but I was, and I was
Yeah.
fine.
That's like
yeah.
that's my first show. I was like 12 or 13.
Were you a mosher?
Like 12 or 13.
I kind of stayed to the side because I was like
Good.
105 pounds
Damn.
at that time. I was tiny.
You probably could have cooked somebody.
I probably could have.
Nah, I've been the old dude at the show since I was 14, 15. Like, I'm gonna chill back here and just listen, just take it in.
I was always I'll be right there on the side of the stage, right on the sides, towards
Yeah.
the front.
And this is something I wanted to ask you about, so this will be a good lead into it. I'll be going to shows with Matt Perez, and he still be mixy because we have a pretty big age difference. I was like, "You'll see you one day." And he hit me recently. He's like, "I'll be in the back lately, bro." Back is where it's at,
He got
Matt.
there quick, huh?
I still like to get in there every once in a while.
I'm 35. I'm still in the mix.
Yeah, they still in
Yeah, Nate be like, "Hold my shit, I'm gonna go stage dive." I'm like, "I'm gonna have your shit safe, man."
I'll be right there with him. Whenever I see Nate, I'm like, let me go in here. Give my little two-step off.
Usually I have a camera with me, so I'm
Yeah,
just like,
true.
I
Yeah.
can't afford to
Yeah,
replace
you
this,
can't.
so
Damn, I'm
can't
gonna start
stage-
bringing a camera so people leave me alone with this shit. There you go.
it might work a little better.
I won't even have
with me as
SD
a
card in
girl,
that
though.
bitch. I'll just say shit. I'll be like, "Nah, the camera, G. I can't really."
That's my like 1-2. It's like, oh, I'm a girl, and here's my camera.
Yeah, definitely. But what I could completely murder what this was because it was a very long time ago. But my first hearing about you was when I was skating with Matt a lot,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, this girl Victoria, she shoots really rad photos," and that's when he was really trying to take it seriously. So I think he was trying to surround himself with people that shot photos. But were you doing like a weekly skate club kind of thing, or was it?
We tried. For a while we did like Saturday morning skate club.
Yeah. What was that?
It was just the homies.
Was it like curves or something? It was something.
It literally was. It
Yeah.
was just kind of like I had seen what like Dune was doing with like his curves all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, we should do this here, and that it was just fun, But everybody got busy and nobody could do it.
Yeah, I feel like Saturday mornings are hit or miss for people because we
Yeah.
were doing this thing where we would go to a skate park every Saturday morning at like 9, so it'd be like empty, And then I realized I do bogus ass shit most Friday nights. And I was like, dude, I can't really be making it up here.
They would invite me. I
If
would
I'm
be
editing
hate.
to 2 a.m., I'm like, I'm not getting up.
Yeah, I'll be like, what time?
I'm still
Saturday
here.
early evening mornings.
I'll be trying to get some brunch in me. Fuck you know.
Now I want to resurrect that. I want to do like Saturday late afternoon
Yeah.
skate club.
Nice. Have you lived anywhere outside of Chicago?
I did some time in New York, did some time in Northern California. I did pretty much right after high school. I was like, well, I got a little bit of money and a duffel bag and a skateboard.
Yeah.
Let's go hang out in San Francisco for a while.
I did that exact same thing, but to San Diego. So we moved there right after we graduated high school. It was sick as fuck, though. Like, I honestly, if it wasn't for the girl I moved here with, I probably would still be in San Diego. It's just so, it was a little weird because it's such a sleepy city, and I was still definitely trying to, like, party a lot and shit. But
chill.
besides that, it's the most amazing shit. It's just so mellow. The weather's perfect every single day. That's when you can really, that's the best I ever was, like, on point skateboarding. It's because you could go do it every day. When in Chicago, you're like, fuck, I can't skate for like 3 months.
Minimally.
Yeah. And then you get back on your board and you're like,
I don't want to.
this feels all weird. Now it's weird because it's so intermittent. Like they still skate kind of frequently, but I'll go like once every 3 weeks.
When's the last time you skated? It's been a minute for me.
A little bit on tour. We just kind of.
Yeah. You bring a board with you on tour?
I didn't this time. I
Yeah.
should have.
Yeah.
I should have. I'm like with Fever, Eric always has one on
Yeah.
tour, so it's kind of fun to just.
That's
push around.
sick.
But it's just like let's just push around in the parking lot
Yeah.
and just kind of feel normal again.
Exactly.
Now it's my I need to go to Walgreens transportation.
Yeah. I have a cruiser for that, for sure.
Yeah, I got a cruiser a couple years ago at before the pandemic at Agenda.
What's that?
Agenda is it's kind of a streetwear skateboard trade show.
It was kind of like magic.
Yeah, it was kind of magic, but
yeah,
like,
I remember. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
So depending on who you run into,
Yeah,
as
yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
breaking down their booths, depends on how much you end up getting forced to take home. They're like, well, I don't want it. Take it.
Yeah.
You want a cruiser? You want 4? I was like, no, how am I going to carry all this home?
4 crews.
4 cruisers.
So
Go to Walgreens, all 4.
I know, but it's like I already have my setup, and then I got another 2 extra decks.
Yeah.
So now I have to, how am I going to carry all of this on a
exactly.
plane back to Chicago?
Yeah, exactly.
Especially
Yeah.
when you're not breaking boards.
Yeah.
You know
You're not
what I
going to
mean?
break your cruiser.
Yeah, you're not going to break the cruiser.
My
a
dumb ass
special-
never got one, and I'd just be trying to push around on my regular board and be like, this sucks. Yeah. I'm like, let me get my bike. This is bullshit.
I set up a second board with filmer wheels.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it's
nice.
kind of a cruiser.
Yeah, that's what you need because these Chicago streets are fucking brutal.
They're ridiculous,
Yeah, yeah.
You
bro.
hit that tiniest pebble. There
It's
goes
a
your
wrap.
arm. There
It's a
goes your
wrap.
arm.
And you'll be pushing down the street, and the roads are so rough. If you're like, I ride like 53s. Some people are walking just as fast as I'm skating. Bruh, I'm just sweaty.
You can't push that fast.
Yeah,
You're like, I'm trying.
I'm getting off every now and then, walking my board.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm putting it on the front of the train.
Yeah, walking down the bike.
Load your board on the front of the bus would be so fucking funny.
They like bring the bus to.
Excuse me, bus driver. I have to load my bike.
The bus driver's just gotta run you over at that point. You know?
Are you done? Scan your card.
Oh man. Did with skateboarding, did you ever end up getting anything published via skateboarding photos?
A couple things, mostly brands.
Sick.
Okay.
Yeah. And I did at one time, I think probably like, I don't know, it was like 15 or 16. I took a picture of my sister in one of my Thrasher hoodies and sent it in, and Lance made sure it got published, Lance Dawes. And my mom was so pissed at me because my sister was like 6 at the time. She's like, you didn't ask me permission. I was like, but she's in Thrasher.
That's love.
It's like, come on.
You kept it real from the fucking
Hell yeah.
beginning.
And I was in the photo too, and I had a ATM Click shirt on at the time.
Yeah.
Damn, 18.
Nice ATM.
The crazy thing was when Thrasher had that run where they were basically a brand and everyone was just wearing Thrasher shit. It was
Yeah.
so weird.
If you go to the mall, it's still the same.
Really?
Yeah, there's still a lot of like, I think it's like the 12 to 16.
Oh
crew.
yeah, like yeah,
They're
you know,
still
like
they
Yeah.
still just think it's a brand.
yeah.
Yeah, there was a run where it was everywhere, and I
Yeah.
was like, "This is kind of weird."
Yeah.
You're just everywhere. People wearing Thrasher. Dude, the girl that dropped off my DoorDash, they had a Thrasher bucket hat. And I was like, "What the fuck?" It's like, I'm not going to judge anyone, but I don't know if you skate.
Like, I'm not going to ask because that's like the dick move, but
Yeah.
do you even skate, bro?
Yeah, exactly.
So they gnaw the logo hard.
Yeah.
Valid.
They're not wrong.
Yeah,
But that goes back to gatekeeping. It's like, you don't want to do that, but I have a feeling you should probably be wearing a Trans World skateboarding hat.
the Trans World bucket would be nuts.
Skateboarding is just such a different thing because it went from being an activity to a full culture.
Yeah. It's the best thing in the world, honestly.
It really is.
Like,
I mean, how many of us really survived because of it?
yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked about it in depth on Uriah's episode where as much as skateboarding is cliquey, you do end up meeting a lot of people you probably wouldn't have met without it.
Yeah.
And like what I've always said, when you're skating with people, even if your relationship was clearly just based off that at first, there's only so much time you can sit around and fucking talk about who backtailed this ledge and shit.
Yeah.
So you start to really learn about each other's actual personalities and shit.
And you're together through the worst of moods,
Yeah.
too. When you've been at that same spot for 3 hours and your friend still has not made it, and they're like, no, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. And you've seen them go from super happy and excited because, oh, they almost got it, to you're pretty sure they're going to go kill somebody after that.
Oh yeah, the emotional roller coaster is
Yeah.
fucking
It's
crazy.
fucking nuts.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah, we used to do this thing called, like, when we weren't making something, we used to do this thing called, like, we would call it New Day. And, like, we would, like, relax and be like, all right, it's a new day. Approach it like you just got here. And usually that would help, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a reset.
Yeah, like a reset.
The craziest thing is how pissed off you can be, but the second you leave, it just goes away. You just don't care at all. You're like, I just need to fucking walk.
You just get back in the car and you're like, all right, next spot.
Yeah.
New day for us was take your shirt off.
Skating is certainly always nuts.
Yeah, for sure. What was funny is, like I said, after I'm from Michigan, then I moved to San Diego. And when I moved here, I remember, because I used to be a rep for like Satori and a bunch of different brands. So I already kind of knew Ken and Uriah from just product and shit like that. So I moved here and like they were like, oh yeah, we're going to go skate downtown. And I was like, all right, cool. Like I'll come. And we got down there and they're like, all right, next spot. And I'm used to driving from spot to spot. And they're like, yeah, we're just going to push. I was like, what?
Oh,
We're just going to push to all these spots?
You're putting in 5 miles
After like 2
downtown.
hours, I was like, I'm going home, bro. I'm so tired.
We're made different.
Yeah, for sure. I was like, how far is it? Like,
And how it would be, you'd start off with 2-3 people, and then
Oh,
you
yeah,
run
30
into
deep, yeah.
5-6 people, and then there's 30-40 deep, and you're just
Yeah.
pushing around, hanging out, and
yeah, they're like, you want to go to Rodan? I was like, I don't know what any of this is. Like, I don't know.
no, we're going to Wicker full force. Why? Oh, one of the homies works there.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out Old Wicker Park.
Yeah, yo. What kind of sports do you shoot?
Basketball, baseball,
yeah.
soccer.
Hell
You didn't
yeah.
let her finish.
Good.
Basketball, hell yeah.
We in the off season, so we haven't had bullshitting and horsing around. That's our sports
Yeah,
segment.
we call horse around because I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan. You already know. You already know.
I was kind of lucky. I kind of just emailed the marketing guy for the G League Bulls.
Nice.
The Windy City,
Yeah, I'm like, I want to shoot some photos. He's like, okay.
dope, yo.
And
Yeah.
then he's like, can we use some of these? And I was like, okay.
Hell yeah.
Yes, you can.
What's Buddy
Oh, yeah.
name on there? The tall white dude.
Oh, Marco?
Yeah, Marco.
He's killing it in Summer League
Yeah,
this year.
yo, like let Marco on the team. I think he might be better than Vooch.
I am shaking my head, not verbally saying yes, agreeing, but I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah, yo, the league, man, the league shaping up nice, yo. I think the Bulls got a good ass chance, man. I'm sorry that y'all lost. Y'all lost Brunson.
I think it'll be all
lost
right.
Jalen
It'll be all right.
No, yeah, basketball is my shit. I do a little football. Do you do football?
I don't really do football.
No, I feel you.
I
feel
prefer
you.
not to encourage people to have scrambled eggs for brains.
Oh, you're right.
Scrambled eggs.
You're right. You got the baseball.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I be trying to talk about sports, but Kurt don't be want to talk about it.
I just don't know shit about it, so I can't really say anything about
baseball is my thing. Like,
Sick.
I love baseball.
Sorry, we're
Hell
like
no.
we got the Lollapalooza live stream on, and
It's
Machine Gun Kelly is playing, and he just did something that made me fucking want to throw up.
it. The wildest shit is
Him
when
coming
he...
on stage. Didn't
Yeah, well, he just like threw his guitar.
when he was talking shit about dude from Slipknot, he's like, "You're 50 wearing a mask." It's like, bro, you're like 33 wearing a pink fucking studded leather jacket, and you can't figure out what genre of music you want to make. At least they know what they're trying to make.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom told me if I wasn't good at something, try something else.
Yeah.
That's valid. Yeah.
That's what MG Kizzle did.
Yeah, yo. He was at Riot. He was at Riot Fest. He was playing the same time.
That's when he was talking about Slipknot. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I was with my homegirl. She's like, we want to see Machine Gun Kelly. I was like, when Slipknot is on stage, that's blasphemy.
You can't make fun of Slipknot.
Not at all.
You can't. I was like, how are you not going to Slipknot for real? That's crazy for real.
Yeah, to see this man, that's wild. out of all the sports you do shoot, which one do you have one you think is better suited to get like good shots out of?
Basketball and baseball are pretty easy to get good shots with.
Yeah.
Soccer is really hard to get good shots
I'm
because
so
if you're
fucking-
not just sitting there waiting, you're gonna miss it.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful the Fire gives me great assignments, like going and hanging out with the fans.
Hell yeah.
And getting like,
Shout out to Chicago
fan
Fire,
shot-
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to a Fire game last year.
Really?
Yeah, it was bogus though, man. We went in that bitch and I was trying to get some food and I literally walked around the whole Soldier Field trying to get some shit.
It's at Soldier Field?
Yeah, the lines was fucked up. And then I finally get my food and I look up and it say third period. I'm like, all right, we got another quarter left.
It's dead.
As soon as I sit down the game, I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
90 minutes and it's over before you even get your hot dog.
Yeah, soccer's confusing because they do like the time they like log because they don't stop the game.
Yeah.
And I'm really like, wait, what? Like,
I really want to go to a Chicago Fire FC Dallas game for real next season. So we should go.
Yeah, I'm down for it, man.
I got merch. I don't watch them, but I'm still gonna rep.
You're still gonna run. I'll be like, okay, you can't be in my photos though.
I heard FC Dallas is the worst team in the league last year. So
Yeah, I like
They can
baseball.
only go up.
yeah.
I like baseball too, but I just don't even pay attention until October and shit. Because it's just too many games, man.
I go to a lot of baseball games.
Oh, yeah.
Sick, yeah.
baseball's kind of ill. You can wear gold chains and
I
sunglasses.
know it's dope.
Yeah.
Dope. I fuck with baseball.
It's like, damn.
Like as a kid, I played baseball, and I was like always better at baseball than I was at basketball. But I just wanted to be a basketball.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care that I'm good at this. I want to do this. Can we
I-
quickly talk about his mic stand?
Ah.
It's really bothering me.
That's kind of hard. His mic stand
No,
is kind of
it's not.
hard.
He's got the mic in the hand.
No, that's like that tree in Palmer Park. The jack-off
Oh,
tree.
the jack tree. Yeah, they bogus as hell. Whoever designed that shit, y'all know what
You
we're
know
talking
he
about.
designed it.
At,
He's multifaceted.
on
bro.
Kedzie, it's on Kedzie and Palmer.
Oh, that tree. They're wilding. They
I was
put
like,
a
how could you design this and not think that it's jacking this tree off? I don't understand, yo.
That's where he got the inspo. That's the inspiration for this mic stand.
And the mic is skin colored, bro.
He's like, we put some veins.
No, like he at that level. He at that level when you have to have a special mic for real. When you get to that big level artist, like you got to get the special mic. Like you know, like Snoop be having the big ass mic, the gold mic and shit. Like you gotta have something.
Corn's
I
got
seen,
one.
yeah, I seen niggas when they be having like the flowers in their mic and shit.
Yeah, do people really listen to his music like that?
No, they love him for real.
V, do you?
No.
People,
no.
People love Machine Gun Kelly, bro.
I know
I just wanted to
a
hear
lot
you
of
say
people
it.
who do, and that's their thing.
Yeah.
It's not for me. It's not for me. Maybe I've aged out.
Yeah, he does not make music
It's
for
not-
me at
yeah.
all.
No.
Yeah, cause I was actually like willing to fuck with him when he was like rapping, but then he did this shit. I'm like, this is corny. This is new levels of corny for me.
But I mean, big ups. He's doing what he
Yeah, he
loves.
doing what he doing.
He's
you
got
know
a
what I'm
fan
saying?
base. So.
Yeah, he doing what he doing. Yeah, let me stop. I can't be having to check myself when I start hating. I'm like, let me stop hating, bro. He doing hell.
I mean, he's standing on a stage making a lot of money right now. So
Would you ever
you
tour with a band or musician that you like straight up didn't like at all?
now, no.
Would you back in the day, or have you?
No, thankfully. But I'm very... the power of no is stronger than the power of yes.
Yeah, which is
And-
an example you just taught us.
Yeah, and
Today.
I would much rather be with people I want to work with than somebody I don't and just be resentful or miserable the whole time.
Yeah.
And give somebody else that opportunity who would really love to be on that tour.
good looking out. Yeah.
On the other end of the spectrum of that, have you ever worked with artists or went on tour with the band that you really liked and were like nervous at first?
I wish I could be like, yes, blah, blah, blah. But
just
I've been doing this so long and coming from skateboarding, I mean, we all walked around like we were rock stars. And it felt like we were for a while. Yeah. And the way music and skateboarding were so intertwined for so long. It was like, oh, that's just so-and-so from so-and-so's band.
Yeah, I almost feel like skateboarding probably like made you get like skateboarding is so fucking intimidating already that like once you get in the music world, it's like, what's up?
But
like,
and it was being lucky enough at such a young age, like basically the beginning of high school, meeting the skateboarders I thought were the coolest on the planet, and then eventually becoming friends with people that I don't think I was ever like, oh, that's so-and-so. Oh my God. Yeah. Like now I think I'd be more impressed with like an author or something, or like a playwright. Yeah. I'd be like, whoa. Yeah. Like they really put themselves out there.
Yeah, you're like a real person. Like, you know what I mean?
And it's kind of like, it's all a facade anyway. For most, you know, what you do on stage is mostly authentic, but you're still performing. You still have to put an air of confidence that maybe you don't actually have in your real life up there.
Yeah, I think that's that'd be a huge misconception if someone thought artists were the same person all of the time. Yeah, that'd be fucking crazy if anyone expected.
But they do.
Yeah, nobody could even keep that up. To be honest, like what? Like I need to chill, bro. Like, you see what I just did for an hour and a half? I'm fucking trying to chill. Yeah, but it was different with skateboarding because I will say when I moved to San Diego and we'd be at spots and like Ryan Gallant would show up. At first, it was not in a sense of like starstruck, but you would just feel really intimidated skating because that's different because you're doing a thing and like you're fucking like tail sliding the ledge and he's just like frontside 180 switch crooked grinding and you're like, what the fuck, dude? It kind of just makes you like, it really checks you and then you just get weird feeling. Yeah. And then you like your knees feel weird. You're like, oh fuck, you know what I mean?
Like I'm gonna sit here.
But then you get used to it. Like we would go to this park and that's where like all the skate mafia dudes would go. So after a while, you're just like, whatever, Kellen's here, fucking. You just didn't care. Yeah. But at first, it's weird, and it's because you're doing a thing.
Inland Empiring and the whole thing down there, weren't you?
I lived in North Park.
Oh, okay.
So, but Memorial was like the closest park at that point, and it was fun. But yeah, like it's just weird if you meet someone and you're just doing a thing that doesn't involve, I guess, like physical activity. It'd be different, but trying to actually perform and you feel like, oh my God, like these dudes are fucking killing it. It'd be like hooping with an NBA player. You'd be like, this is fucking trash.
Hell yeah.
Around y'all, I'm going to go for that three. But I'm not doing that with Kyrie.
It's like that with music too, for real. Like when you be opening up for niggas and shit, you be like, oh, he finna hear my shit. Like you gotta sound good. You know what I'm saying? But you got to put on that character. It's the same thing. Whenever you, but like once you break through that, like you good for real. That's what you're saying. You look at a motherfucker like, oh, he's just a normal motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because like once you behind the scenes and you see how people that they act like normal people, you can't even look at nobody like that no more.
Yeah, exactly.
I lost that early too. There's only a few people I've been around. I've been like, oh damn, that's like I see you like you see Beyonce, you be like, that's Beyonce.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
That would inevitably, I would not be able to speak.
What if she just came through?
I'd just be like,
for real.
There are those random people.
No, I got a homie who was like doing some shit for Beyonce and shit like a long time ago. We were on FaceTime with him. He turned the screen around. Beyonce was right there. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. That's Beyonce.
There's always going to be a few people I think you'd be like, damn, that's that person. Like, Arto shoots photos. He's been shooting photos for a while. And Arto was like,
one of my favorite photographers and skateboarders.
Yeah. So he shot like 50 prints of a Dylan photo. And I was always like super, like, loved Dylan. And me and my friend Zach always just talk about how like Arto was like our favorite skater growing up. And Zach bought me a print of the Dylan for like my birthday or something. I still have it. It's hanging up in the hallway. And he's like, dude, when Arto emailed me, it was so hard not to be like, oh my God, dude, like Arto. But he was just like, yeah, that's cool, just send it whenever.
Arto's sorry.
That's nice. That may have been some of the first, like at the trade shows, I did get a little like when I would, like the first time I met like Sal Barbier. Or like
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I used to work at the Emporium pop-up, and we had like a Nike SB party. I'm working the door, and it's like Jimmy Garecki, Jeff Rowley, like all these people showing me their IDs. I'm like, you can go, dude. Like, I don't need to see your ID. I have plenty of ID on you already.
Hold on. You want to see his clip?
Yeah, exactly.
You're like,
so dog, you snapped.
You're to Raleigh. You're like, you grind at Staples Center in '98. I think you're smooth to get in this bitch. but you got to think like skateboarders are only like that in the skateboarding world. Hell, the people have no idea who they are.
But a lot of them don't know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some people's like, bro, they don't know who you are.
Wait, what?
Like, you can see the cover of the skateboard bag? Bro, no. This server probably did not see the cover of the skateboard.
You didn't see my Action shoe ad?
Yeah, right. Action.
Yo,
that's the second time we mentioned Action on this podcast.
I guess Action's coming back, though.
Are we doing thick tongues again?
No, shout out to Kareem Campbell.
Hell yes.
I mean, Kareem is
Thank you for everything, Kareem.
OG.
Thank you for everything.
You can only bring something back so many times. This shit might not be working. You know? That's fucking funny.
See how many times we can get an Action mention off.
Yeah, that's like a bingo thing.
Yeah.
It's wild, though, because like the DC shit's super back, and some people do look good wearing it, but I just couldn't imagine at this point in my life.
They bringing back puffy shoes, bro.
Yeah.
Next summer, that's everybody.
Well, if you think about it, though, like Jordans have always been puffy, and people have been wearing Jordans. People used to skate Jordan 1s.
Not like that. Not like they do. They bringing the Osiris back, bro.
Ooh.
They talking big
Oh,
puffy.
the D3s, yeah.
They talking
Well,
big
shit,
puffy.
Lonbon is making D3s.
ASAP Rocky brought them back like 3 years ago.
Nah, but I'm saying everybody finna be doing it next year for real. I bet.
I just feel like I don't know how I pulled it off before.
Yeah.
Because my feet aren't that big, but they look like boats.
Yeah. I wear a 13, but I might run it back.
I think back on how the fuck you actually did like frontside flips in those shoes. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
dude?
more
Like,
board coverage.
Yeah, but you couldn't feel the fucking board at all. Did I catch it?
And I was skating 7.5s too, with my like at the time like size 11s, my fucking Kerry Gets DVS.
Damn, you could like wrap your toe around.
Flip that bitch back.
Yeah,
You're doing toe grab.
yeah.
I was pretty fond of the original Kalis's, though.
Oh yeah, he brought those back, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean it's still the same style.
Yeah.
It's a little less.
Yeah, a little slimmer.
Yeah. Yeah, like the Kalis and the Stevies and all that
Yeah.
shit. I mean, back in the day, I would skate Accels, and I see them now, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Where were these at? Like,
Because the Uprise just got the brown classic ones back in,
Yeah.
and I just thought, how would I ever do shit in these?
I considered it just to walk
Just to
around
consider
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they bringing all that shit back.
Do you even skate, bro?
They bringing like
Barely.
they bringing hooping shoes and casual back. You know what I'm saying? I see the nigga with some T-Max on.
Yeah, I saw
That
that.
video was great. He was hitting the shit with the T-Max on. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna have to bring the answers back.
I got a pair.
I'm just gonna push around in some old Nike courts.
Yeah. That's all you need. Board feel. Shit, man.
I'm just reminiscing back. Like,
Yeah, right. That's what that silence was. We're all just like,
But there was some shit though, like the Reynolds 3s. Those
Yeah.
are fire.
Yeah.
The Reynolds 2s were fire too. The little diamond in the thing.
yeah.
Man, good old days.
Shit, man. We got anything else?
Y'all got anything else?
Yeah, man.
Is there anything else coming up you got? I wanted to ask you real quick before we get out. Have you ever done like a gallery show, like a photo show?
I've done a couple, yeah.
Nice.
Sick.
How do you feel about doing things like that?
I'd love to do more and to be able to bring more people that I pick with me instead of being like, well, you have to pick these people to be in it with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always really enjoyed like photo shows because I like it when it's a collective and you get to see somebody you already know you like their work, and then you get to see other people's shit.
Yeah.
It's just dope. I think, Uprise has had amazing people come through. Like Joe Brook did a super sick photo there. That's where I got that one from. Uriah blessed me with that shit. That's the only photo I ever got professionally framed because I was like, it's just so good. And I was like, damn, framing shit is expensive as fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I love that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you get anything like that in the city, pop and let us know, and we'll definitely promote it on the podcast because it's always a good time,
Yeah,
I have have to do a Saturday morning skate club photo show on an afternoon.
Yeah, I think a Tuesday after work club. Yeah, it's a Tuesday after work club. We can do that.
6:30 to 8:30 p.m.
6:30, 7:30. Yeah.
Everyone's
Hot
in bed
hour.
by 10:30.
Yeah, that sounds like a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been skating like they skate every Thursday. But we just go to like Unity. They got the little plastic curbs. Because right now you got to keep shit under knee high. You know, I ain't jumping over knee high at all. Like, fuck that, dude. Evan will. He'll jump over knee high. But he's the only one.
For real.
What's that?
I said Evan be ripping for real.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we got to go hit the little curbs and shit, man.
Yeah, we should get a session in. That'd be fun.
Slappy session.
Yeah, we will, for sure. But we really, really appreciate you coming through. It's been a great conversation.
Thank you.
I really like your work. I wish the best for you and hope you get some cool opportunities coming up.
Thank you. I definitely miss shooting skateboarding, though. So
Yeah, skateboarding's fucking,
that's
I
a
don't
call
know.
to the homies. I'm around.
Yeah, hit her up.
I'm not always doing shows.
Yeah. Not what I'm doing. Evan hit something for you.
For sure. Well, this is episode 158 of the Face Value Podcast. This is for you, Perry.
That B.
What?
Beyonce.
No, I ain't giving you the Beyonce. I am not giving you